Have you ever driven a car on a long road trip and wished you could just take your hands off the wheel and relax? I know I have. With the development of autonomous vehicles, that dream is becoming a reality. But what other areas of our lives could be revolutionized by autonomous systems? And what are the benefits and risks of relying on these technologies? Now, if only we could develop an autonomous system to do our laundry for us, we'd really be living in the future. At its core, an autonomous system is one that can make decisions and take actions without human intervention. This presents a number of challenges, including how to ensure that these systems are making good decisions. But what even are those decisions that we have to improve? What is meant by decision making? At its core, a Markov decision process is defined by a set of states, actions, and rewards. The states represent different possible situations or scenarios, while the actions represent the different choices or decisions that can be made in each state. A policy specifies which action the agent should take in each state, based on its current beliefs about the environment. It's a mapping from the state space into the action space. A 2021 paper published by DeepMind claimed the following. The reward is enough hypothesis postulates that intelligence, and its associated abilities, can be understood as subserving the maximization of reward by an agent acting in its environment. Reinforcement learning can be used to learn optimal policies in environments where the rules are unknown or complex. This makes it particularly useful in domains such as robotics and game playing, where traditional rule-based approaches may not be effective. It involves training an agent to interact with an environment by taking actions and receiving rewards or penalties. Over time, the agent learns to associate certain actions with positive outcomes and others with negative outcomes, and adjusts its policy accordingly.
Even though training is conducted on only a small set of rigid terrains in simulation, the learn control policy is robust to dynamic footholds and deforming surfaces.
Behavioral psychologists have come up with new views, not only of animal behavior, but of human nature as well. And these views all concern a process that we take for granted, learning, because we are all truly born to learn.
Pavlov's aim was to discover what caused saliva to flow. He rerouted the salivary ducts to the outside of his dog's cheek so that he could collect and measure the spittle. Perhaps, he thought, the production of saliva might be the result of a fixed nervous reflex, like a knee jerk.
A robot, an autonomous system with a physical body, interacts with the real world in the see, think, act cycle. The robot senses the environment with sensors. It runs algorithm to analyze what it sensed. Then it incorporates that into its knowledge, and thinks about what to do. Once it completed the cognitive process, it uses actuators. It acts on the environment, with whatever it has. One way to decompose such a process is temporal decomposition. The robot must think both about the long-term situation, and the immediate reality. In aircraft, stability refers to the ability of the aircraft to maintain its desired flight path and attitude, despite disturbances such as wind gusts or turbulence. There are two main types of stability in aircraft: static stability and dynamic stability. Static stability refers to the initial tendency of the aircraft to return to its original position after being disturbed, while dynamic stability refers to the aircraft's ability to remain stable over time, despite varying conditions. Let's say we have to control a robot arm. First, we decide on what to do. We want to grab this bottle, or throw this ball. After we plan our action, we create a geometrical path. I want my hand to trace this shape. From pure geometry, you create a function of time, a motion, that is executed by a PID algorithm, which takes feedback from sensors and always corrects the motors, such that they execute the trajectory that long-term thinking prepared. Strategy and tactics are two terms that refer to different levels of planning. Strategy refers to the overall plan or approach that one takes to achieve a specific goal. It is about making decisions long-term that will set the direction to achieve goals. Tactics are the short-term actions that are used to achieve a specific objective within the broader framework of the overall strategy. They are the individual steps that are taken to move towards a goal, and they often change in response to changing circumstances. In simple terms, strategy is the what and tactics are the how. A good strategy is necessary to achieve a specific goal, but without effective tactics, the strategy will not be successful. On the other hand, even the best tactics will not be effective without a clear strategy to guide them. Exploration-exploitation dichotomy in machine learning is a trade-off between trying out new options, exploration, and using the current knowledge to make accurate predictions, exploitation. Too much of either can lead to suboptimal performance. Machine learning algorithms must balance exploration and exploitation to achieve the best performance. This can be achieved using various techniques, such as epsilon-greedy algorithms or Thompson sampling. When designing a robot, there are two main models that can be used to describe its behavior: forward and inverse models. A forward model takes in the robot's joint angles or control signals and predicts the resulting end effector position and orientation. An inverse model, on the other hand, takes in the desired end effector position and orientation and predicts the joint angles or control signals required to achieve it. Declarative and imperative programming are two different approaches to writing computer programs. Declarative programming is like telling someone what you want, while imperative programming is like telling them how to do it. In declarative programming, you specify what you want the program to do without worrying about the details of how it will be done. This is like telling your friend, "I want a pizza with pepperoni, mushrooms, and extra cheese." You don't care how the pizza will be made, as long as it has those toppings. In contrast, imperative programming involves specifying each step of the program's execution, like telling your friend, "Take the dough out of the fridge, roll it out, add the sauce, sprinkle on the cheese, and then put it in the oven for 15 minutes. This approach requires more attention to detail but gives you more control over the outcome.